my crowns and tiaras? Welcome to E-Toxic Tea Lounge. Everything in this video is allegedly. Let's talk. So today we are going to be discussing... we're going to be discussing Winnie Harlow and Jess Hilarious. We also going to be talking about Fatboy and his baby mother, Tiana. Okay, Charleston White versus Shamarco, and we also going to be talking about some Gypsy Rose. Okay, the first thing we are going to be discussing is Winnie Harlow and the Just Hilarious thing. We're going to listen to what Winnie Harlow had to say. I don't know personally if she's being funny or, you know, she just, I don't know if this is real or not, but let's listen to the clip.
I'm at the game.
Yo, Jess, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass for the you said about my skin. Oh.
I'm gonna get out of here. Get out of here. Out of here.
Beat your brother ass too.
All right, so if y'all hate my kids in the background, they playing or whatever the case may be, whatever. But at the end of the day, listen, Jess basically responded to that, okay, and said, this is borderline weird. I've never said anything about this girl's skin. Winnie, stop it. Then they, I guess this is the brother. I don't know if this is her real brother or not. I don't know. Whatever. But he's basically like, oh, you got me in trouble. Oh, you got me in trouble. But Winnie was not being serious with him, okay? But she did say whatever she had to say. Now, I don't know personally. I never came across anything Just Hilarious has said about Winnie Harlow skin. If you have or if you find anything, send it to my Instagram so I can talk about it again with some more, you know, backstory, because I haven't seen it. And even if I looked, I didn't see anything. Also, there's nothing wrong with Winnie Harlow's skin. Everybody's different. She's still beautiful. It doesn't matter. Somebody on Twitter allegedly said that Just Hilarious called her a two-toned. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know how true that is or not. This is what people are saying on Twitter. I don't know. Like I said, if I have a video or any type of tweet or any type of anything with Just Hilarious actually saying these things, then I will come and talk about it. Until then, I just feel like it's crazy. I can't even take Winnie Harlow serious just by her saying that. I thought it was a joke at first. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just because the way she was saying it, and I don't know, it just, I don't know if she was trying to be aggressive when she said it, but it just wasn't giving it. Like, I don't know. But let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about that? Do you think that Just Hilarious has said something about Winnie Harlow's skin? And why would she? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with y'all. But she's beautiful at the end of the day. Somebody said Just Hilarious be lying bad because she definitely made jokes about Winnie Harlow's skin. So it is people on Twitter basically saying Just Hilarious is a liar. I don't know. Because just the same thing with the Sexy Red and Just Hilarious. I felt like Just Hilarious when Sexy Red was there was really kissing buns. Okay, she was kissing buns. It's like, girl, why, if you said something, you said something, stand on it. Like, we already know Just Hilarious was like, oh, when Sexy read something about the condoms make her smell like fish and stuff like that, and Just Hilarious was like, it's not the condoms, baby, it's not the condoms. Yeah, because condoms are not supposed to make your stuff smell like fish. Like, that's not what it does, okay? So, yeah, if you said certain things, just stand on it. Like, yeah, girl, like, you said this and this and that, and I don't agree with that, and that's why I said that. And then that's it. Why are you saying it? Come on, sexy. Come on, sexy. So it's like Just Hilarious be saying things, putting herself in these holes. She slightly, you know, stands on it, but not fully. And then she starts doing the butt kissing. I can't do it for the life of me. The butt kissing stuff, Now, let's get straight into Tiana versus Fatboy. Y'all already know they had been broke up. Fatboy looked like he crashing out. Every time I see him online, he drunk, saying stuff and doing this and doing that. I don't ever see him with his kids, right? Now, we're going to get straight into the receipts, okay? Now, let's listen to, because Tiana put this out. He left her a voice note and very disrespectful. You could tell he's belligerent and drunk. And in my opinion, that's not how he sound. He sound like he's drunk. So let's just listen to the audio.
I ain't saying nothing about that ass mother. I don't even know her. She dead, right? Ain't she dead? I don't even know her. You talking about Mackenzie, TJ, I love y'all for life. Forever in the world. I will never turn my back on y'all. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure y'all straight. I don't know what that lady talking about. That lady. I don't know what that lady talking about, y'all mama. I don't know what she talking about. She could jump off a cliff. She could die. I don't know what she talking about. Fuck her. She don't mean nothing to this world, to me. She's a worthless piece of shit. Fuck her. She could die.
Woo. He was going in. Now, why would he say he shouts out his kids and say this and that and basically talks as if he's talking to his kids? Why would you talk to your kids like that about their mom? That's weird. Like, I just feel like some parents be really like talking crazy about the other parents of their kids, like really like crazy bashing them. Why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? I personally think that he's still upset that Tiana is paying him dust and she just looked like she really just be sexy on her Instagram, minding her business. Like, yeah. Like, you're not stopping nothing. That's how you're supposed to be. Okay? You're not supposed to be bothered because 9 times out of 10, when you have a baby father like that, drunk and doing this, and now when y'all separated, he's not really around the kids and stuff like that. We're going to get into the text messages. Okay? Of what they said. She says, hold on. She says, you can get them, see them whenever you want. You know that. He says, you got a vendetta against me, which is cool. I don't care. You a bum to me. I just want, about Mackenzie, TJ, Algie. That's it. Why are you even saying anything to me about me? Just talk about the kids then. Laugh out loud. Then he sent that voice note. Okay. Which she seems like she is calm. She basically like, listen, you can see your kids if you want to see. You just not seeing your kids because you're not seeing them. Like, nobody's stopping you. And he's still talking about her. That's how you know he's upset. He's big pressed about her doing her. Then she says, stop worrying about me and come take care of your kids. And she added, Fatboy. You act like you're not pressed online, but in real life you do this and don't care of your kids, and your dad still lives at my house. You and your folks come get him, and all your stuff ain't seen your kids in months. Ain't even bought them no food. You're a baby mama for real. If I don't want to be with you, you don't want to see your own kids. These sassy guys. And I understand where she's coming from because we all have a baby father or know a baby father that does this. Okay? They can't be with you. They push themselves away from their kids. They make their kids the pawns just to be around you and this and this and that. It's just like, get it together. Do you want to be your dad or not? So Fatboy is living his life. He's out strip clubs. He's out partying, getting drunk. He's with different females all the single time. Do not know if he's boning them or not, but he be with them. Okay? Now, the care in the world looks like he's trying to see his kids. That's just me on the outside looking in at what I'm seeing. Okay? And the receipts that's here. All right, and she says, I'm not sparing nothing. I'm tired of you thinking because you have a social media presence that you're that. And they give anyone money these days for real. You're not hard. You're weird. Come get your dad out my house and come take care of your kids, my boy. My boy. That's the New York. My boy. You're out doing promo but ain't buying your kids a thing. Where the F is the money going then? On them girls. On that damn eggplant he tried to enlarge or whatever stuff that he had going on with surgery, whatever that he had going on. Don't even think about kissing on my kids after you had your mouth on Selena. There is so many eggplants in your mouth. So, I don't know, y'all. And then Fatboy is on his stories talking about I want a real wife, a real woman. You gotta be a real man and a real husband to get that. And you're not that, my sir. He's saying he outside, posting on his stories. Then he says, women are made to be handled with care and love. Womp, womp, womp. Not with disrespect. Fellas, get that baby oil, rub her feet sometimes after a long day, and tell her she means the world to you. Love language is everything. Love her boy, Tariq. it be guys that be saying all this lovey-dovey stuff and make it seem like this is the type of guy they are, and then they like the opposite. They're cheaters, they're liars, they're disrespectful. They like stop it, okay? Because we seen how you be moving, Mr. Fatboy. But anyway, let me know how y'all feel about that. Do you think that Fatboy is crashing out and that he really want to be back with Tiana and she's not having it? She's like, listen, she's making it about the kids. We see the proof. And sometimes it be like that. You be like, okay, why are you talking to me? Let's talk about the kids. If it's not about the kids and it's not pertaining about the kids, there shouldn't be no conversation. That's just how I feel like co-parenting should be if you're not with the other person. That's just how I feel. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't be over my business. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Okay? Because that's how I was with my ex, my second baby daddy. Because y'all already know I got two. My second baby daddy, he was the one that was a serial cheater, pathological liar, disrespectful. But he had his ways where he knew how to treat me and we had fun and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. Then we have our daughter and it's a whole bunch of shenanigans and mess. I want to see my daughter. Then when he come around, he's all up in my business. Like, what you doing? Who you talking to? You talking to somebody? Like, boy, stop minding my business. I'm not asking you nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Hello, your daughter's here. And then it's like, you got to stop it at a point because it's just like, it's like fake parenting. Okay. And don't nobody got time or the energy for somebody to be rubbing their weird energy on you with being a fake parent. It doesn't work that way. So hopefully everybody that is co-parenting out there, please just make it about your kids. If you even give an inch of anything to the person that you're really not trying to be with, but you still might love them or whatever the case may be, or you get around them, you might want to kiss them and stuff like that. Don't do it, okay? You're just setting yourself up for failure, okay? I'm just saying, we got to be strong out here, ladies. Because 9 times out of 10, these guys are the new females, okay? They're the new females. They're the new bitter baby mothers, okay? The roles is reversed, okay? Now, let's just talk about Charleston White versus Shamarco. A whole hot mess, okay? Now, Charleston White goes on, I forgot the YouTuber's name, but he does like little challenges where he bring like a whole bunch of females or a whole bunch of men, and it's like a smash or pass type situation or whatever the case may be. So it's supposed to have been 20 women. This is what Charleston White is saying on the clip that I seen. It's supposed to be 20 women, and they bring out Shamarco. Shamarco need that money, okay? But Charleston White wasn't having it. Okay, he was calling him a sissy punk and this and this and that. Why y'all do that? Listen, at the end of the day, he responded how he responded. Okay, he wanted to see some females. Okay, so Shamarco, of course, he goes on his Instagram and he has something to say to Charleston White. So we're gonna listen to what he had to say. Okay, and then I'm gonna talk about it. Let's go.
I am not about to go back and forth with no mother Charlie White. Cause one thing about it, two things for sure. You was a whole mother scary ass for one. You don't like gay people. You're a gay bashing people. Like, come on now. That's why Southside Tyler went in on your ass the way he went in on your. And I wish boy, I did not knock his ass out, but I'm gonna keep it to you. Cause I could have hit his ass when I was at the interview. When he was at the interview, I could have hit his ass, but I ain't gonna do that. I just know that's a snitch ass. I know that he's a snitch. He will always be a snitch. He was always snitch. Cause he don't like gay people. He love to gay bash gay people. You feel me? The way how he acted.
Okay, so he's complaining about Charleston White being homophobic and he's a snitch and all this other stuff. I'm pretty sure everybody that was on that YouTube channel knew that it was a Charleston White YouTube segment, okay? Shamarco decided that he wanted to come on that platform, okay, knowing that this man that he was just complaining about was going to be there. Shamarco, we seen the clip and we seen that you was just fake laughing, really hurt in your feelings and wasn't doing nothing. You was over there while he still was rambling and talking. You ain't say nothing. I didn't hear him say nothing. I mean, at least come out and defend yourself. Speak up. But you ain't do that. You waited to go on Instagram and say what you had to say. So, Shamarco, I just felt like maybe he was going to get a coin for making an appearance on the YouTube channel. I don't know how that goes over there. But we already know that Shamarco be online. Oh my God, I have to extend my hotel stay. They asking me for $150, $125. I don't have that money. Help me. And then he's making it seem like people are obligated. It's a difference when you just, hey, if anybody, can help me out, this and this, I'm struggling, I'm going through that. If you want to tell your story and people voluntarily send you money, then okay. But you're not going to go on the internet all the time, tell your story, but making it seem as if, okay, now y'all going to have me on the floor and this is what y'all want. And don't make people feel bad just so they can be like, okay, I'm gonna give him money. They're not obligated to. So I just felt like Shamarco be just put himself in these holes and doing this and doing that. And it's like, boy, come on. You need to do something with yourself. You always want to be outside. Speaking about outside, he just went outside. Okay. He actually was looking cute. His little blue wig or whatever the case may be. He had his makeup done and stuff like that. He was looking cute. He was supposed to be going to perform. Now he went, I don't know if this is a strip club or a regular club with a strip pole. I don't know. But he was actually performing. People was around. And he did a little stripping segment. But he had his clothes on and they was throwing dollars and stuff. So I guess that's what he gonna have to do to get that coin. Okay. But then I'm in a live like, okay, well, don't come online trying to complain about talking about some fake people around you want clout and your followers and stuff like this, because he always put himself around people. Guess why? Because those people offer free things. Oh, you're gonna go out, they're gonna be buying the look good, they're gonna get my hair done for free. You're just like, it's just like you're using people, and then you turn around and say people are using you for your clout and your fame and stuff like that. What are the followers doing for you, sir? The followers and the fame ain't doing nothing for you because you're struggling. Okay? And not everybody needs to know your business. All you have to do is get up, do something. Hello? There's a lot of platforms out here that you could get monetized on. Just do something else and stop using people. But anyways, that's all I have to say. Charleston White is always going to be himself. He's always going to be a snitch. He's always going to be a homophobic. He's always going to be some type of something to somebody because he tells it how he feels, and that's just what it is. And people still watch him, and and nobody's really doing nothing to him. He could voice his opinions, he could speak how he feel about whatever. Y'all don't have to like it. It is what it is, okay? So at the end of the day, that is all about the Charleston White situation. And y'all heard what Shamarco had to say. Let me know down in the comments below, how do y'all feeling about what Shamarco had to say and what he got going on, okay? Because he always be like, oh, I'm shitting on you girls and y'all want to be like me. He always making it seem like he's really shitting on people, and in all reality, you're struggling begging people for money. So you can't do the both. Sorry. The last thing we're going to be discussing real quick is the Gypsy Rose. People wanted me to talk about it, so I'm just going to give y'all a quick rundown of the research that I've seen online, okay? Dee Blanchard is her mother, okay? Now, basically, she was found face down in her bedroom of her house just outside of Springfield, lying on the bed in a pool of blood from some wounds inflicted several days earlier. There was no sign of her daughter, Gypsy Rose, who was, according to Blanchard, had chronic conditions including leukemia, asthma, muscular dystrophy, and who had the mental capacity of a 7-year-old due to brain damage. Okay. After reading troubling Facebook posts earlier in the evening, concerned neighbors notified the police, reporting that Dee, which is the mother, might have fallen victim to foul play with, and that Gypsy Rose, who was the daughter, whose wheelchair and medications were still in the house, might have been abducted. The next day, police found Gypsy Rose in Wisconsin, where she had traveled with her then boyfriend Nicholas Goujon, whatever his name is, whom she had met online. When investigators announced that she was actually an adult and did not have any of the physical and mental health issues her mother claimed she had, public outrage over the possible abduction of a disabled girl gave way to shock and some sympathy for Gypsy Rose, because this mother really made up all these diagnoses for her child. You know that movie? I don't know if it was based on this, but there was a movie where a mother was intentionally making her child sick, giving her child stuff and making her sick and having her in the bed and didn't want her to go outside. This is what Gypsy Rose's mother was doing, making all these fake diagnoses, getting her daughter sick, shaving her hair to make it seem like she was a cancer patient. She was doing everything. She didn't have no friends. She was getting homeschooled, all type of stuff. So she really like took Gypsy Rose away from the world for her own selfish, weird, mental, whatever she had got going on. Okay, so I feel sorry for any child that has to go through this. It's weird. Further investigation found that some of the doctors who had examined Gypsy Rose had found no evidence of the claimed disorders. One physician suspected that Dee Dee, who is the mother, had fictitious disorder imposed on another, a mental disorder in which a parent or other caretaker exaggerates, fabricates, or induces illnesses in a person under their care to obtain sympathy or attention. Dee Dee had changed her name after her family, who suspected she had poisoned her stepmother, confronted her about how she treated Gypsy Rose. Nevertheless, many people accepted her situation as true, and the two benefited from the efforts of charities such as Children's Mercy Hospital, Habitat for Humanity, Ronald McDonald House, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So she was getting funds from these places. Dee Dee had been making her daughter pass herself off as younger and pretended to be disabled and chronically ill, subjecting her to unnecessary surgery and medication, and controlling her through physical and psychological abuse. Mark Feldman, an international expert at fictitious disorders, said that this was the first case he knew of in which an abused child unalived an abusive parent. Okay, Gypsy Rose pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and served 8 years of a 10-year sentence. She was granted parole in September 2023 and was released from prison on December 28th, which was just, the other day. After a relief brief in November 2018, Goldun, who was the alleged boyfriend at the time, was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Many people who met Gypsy were charmed by her 5-foot height, nearly toothless mouth, large glasses, and high childlike voice reinforced the perception that she had all the problems her mother claimed she did. So the mother made her appearance look as if she was a sick child, right? Let's see. She shaved off Gypsy's head to mimic the hairless appearance of a chemotherapy patient, allegedly telling Gypsy that since her medication would eventually cause her hair to fall out, it was best to shave it in advance. Gypsy often wore wigs or hats to cover her baldness. When they left the house, Dee Dee often took an oxygen tank and feeding tube with them. Gypsy was fed the children's liquid nutrient supplement, Pediasure, well into her 20s. This is sick. Okay. Goldjohn, the boyfriend, returned to Springfield in 2015, arriving while Gypsy and her mother were away at a doctor's appointment. After they had returned home and Dee Dee had gone to sleep, he went to the Blanchard house. Gypsy let him in and allegedly gave him duct tape and gloves and a knife with the understanding that he would use it to unalive her mother. Gypsy hid in the bathroom and covered her ears so she would not have to hear her mother screaming. She basically was, 17 times in her back while she was sleeping, okay? Afterward, the two went and, did a freaky neaky stuff in Gypsy's room. So right after he did that to the mother, they went and got freaky in her room. That is so weird, okay? Afterward, the two had, whatever, and took $4,000 in cash from the mother. All right, so basically that is what's happening. She's basically free. She has a lot of fans on Twitter that's really like, riding for her. Me personally, I don't think unaliving your parent is really something. Maybe she felt like that had to happen in order to be free. But I feel like she could have ran away. She could have really she could have went to the police. She could have did anything. She could have started gathering information and, proof that her mother's doing these things to her, because all the doctors, every doctor that they went to basically was like, I don't understand why you saying she has this because she could walk. I don't understand why you have this because this. So the doctor should have been called some type of something, ACS, DPS, whatever it's called already in your country or state. Because they should have been some investigating going on. Because why was that able to happen all those years? Like, it's really people out here that really are torturing their kids, really neglecting their kids, not feeding them, and doing nasty things and having other people do nasty things. It's weird parents out here that really need to have people called on them, but then no, they go for, oh my God, you pop your child on the butt. Oh, you're screaming at them. Oh, you're cursing at them. ACS. Like, it's just so much stupid petty stuff that people call ACS on people that's like not even serious, and you got the real monsters out there. I just feel like it should have just been something else that she could have done. Okay. But she's free now. She's an adult. She's free, and we're gonna see exactly how she moves when she get out, because now she has a life of her own. She don't have to really worry about her mother and doing all these things to her and stuff like that. She recently was just with her father and her sister and stuff like that. They had a welcome home party for her, and she looks happy. She looks excited, and her father was ride or die for her, you know, throughout her sentence and everything. So I don't know. Let's just get into some comments. Me liking everything that has to do with Gypsy Rose. Okay, but like, what the F is wrong with y'all? People on TikTok are so freaking weird. Gypsy Rose is a real person who has lived an extremely traumatic life and is finally gonna have a chance for a positive future. And y'all are treating her release like a spectacle. Y'all are weird. They showing pictures of her coming out. People making fun like, oh, she came with her Dr. Pepper. She ain't leaving with her Dr. Pepper. And they was talking about she left with all her commissary and stuff like that. But she's released. And that's basically what it is. We are going to see how she carries herself, because I feel like this is a good thing for her, regardless of the mom unaliving situation or whatever the case may be. I wonder how the boyfriend feels since he has to do life without parole. I wonder if he regrets doing that. I don't know. I don't know how to really feel about it. I'm not really one person to think about unaliving parents. That's not my thing. I don't know how to really feel about it, because I'm not really a person to want to think about, unless my life is at jeopardy and I have to defend myself. That's the only way I could say to unalive somebody. If you're in a situation where it's your life or their life, then okay. I don't know if this situation was a life-threatening situation, or it was just like I don't know how to feel about it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like I said, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I just feel, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, because it's like one side of me is like, okay, this definitely falls in the category for a person to get unalived. Okay? But then there's another, it's like, I don't know how to feel about it. This is one thing that I can be like, I'm stuck in between, because my thought process is not like that. My thought process is more like, if I'm ever in a situation, me and my kids or anything, I have to defend me and my kids in a life-threatening situation, like right then and there, that's what I'm gonna have to do and have that mindset. But I don't have that mindset to really go in on this. So I mean, it is what it is. It happened. She's out. She's free. He's in there doing life without parole, and we shall just see how everything plays out. But at the end of the day, I love y'all. See y'all in my next video. Until then, toodaloo.
Gotta be